Tampa Bay Community Network invited the community to record opinions on the controversial Florida Stand Your Ground law. The following people responded.
Well, I think the lawmakers who came up with Stand Your Ground were well-intentioned, but now I think it clearly needs to go. We have a self-defense law, and if that needs to be tweaked, maybe we could look at that. But it seems like the Stand Your Ground law, as it's written, is just letting people, cowards or anyone who wants to carry a gun, to shoot whoever they want, even if they just feel threatened, without even having to try to talk it out or have any kind of peace thing going on first. So if they just feel threatened, they can shoot. And so that just seems ridiculous. So I think we need to repeal that. Thank you.
I think for the Stand Your Ground law, they should make some modifications on it. So you just can't see someone that threatens you and just shoot them. And I think that if they try to attack you, then you can defend yourself.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Charles Richard Emmenizer. I have a PhD in religion, and I want to talk about the right to defend ourselves. We human beings have the right to defend ourselves. The Constitution of the United States grants us the right to carry weapons. There are people who have deadly weapons in their fists. Fists are deadly weapons. And there are some people who cannot use their fists. There are some people who can. A lot of the bullies who bully other children have talents and abilities to use their fists in a deadly weapon fashion. There are other people, those who are bullied, who do not have this ability. These people need an equalizer. Guns are equalizers. We have the right to carry guns for several reasons. Number one, to defend our freedom from governments that are tyrannical. We have a right to defend ourselves from bullies. And this is all I have to say, is we have the right to defend ourselves, and we have the right to carry weapons. These are the great equalizers. These are how we can protect our freedoms. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
Hello, my name is S.C. Day. I'm a consumer advocate and current radio show host. I'm here today to talk about Florida's Stand Your Ground law. As a former law enforcement officer and military police officer, I feel that Florida's Stand Your Ground law, as it is written, is flawed. The law talks about reasonable suspicion or reasonable expectation from a civilian standpoint. My years of law enforcement training taught me that you have to dig deeper into reasonable, because the average civilian does not understand reasonable. Now, when you're talking about standing your ground and protecting yourself, I think everybody has the right to protect themselves. But when you go above and beyond, those are things that law enforcement should be doing. One of the things is going into, if you see someone committing a forcible felony, as the law is written, what exactly is a forcible felony? These are things that law enforcement officers understand because they've gone through years of training to understand what a forcible felony is. The average civilian does not understand forcible felony. The other thing that I feel is these, I so call them vigilantes, that are using 911 or the 911 operating system to verify their deadly shoots is wrong. In other words, I will call 911 and say that there's an intruder or say that someone is harming me. And when I'm told not to do something, I go ahead and do it anyway. In the recent case here in Florida with George Zimmerman, you should not have the right to pick a fight, and then when you are losing the fight, you pull a firearm and you execute a shoot and kill someone. Stand Your Ground should be rewritten as it stands today.
Hello, my name is Eva Henry, and I'm here today to talk about the Stand Your Ground law, which proposes a broadening of the self-defense terminology that would allow people to shoot someone or kill someone in self-defense, not only if they were attacked and their life was threatened physically, but also if there was a verbal attack and someone threatened their life verbally. That may also fall into that category of self-defense if they were to stand their ground, so to speak, and kill the person who was threatening them. I'd like to share from the Bible, and I'm sharing from the Message Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 41. Then Moses set aside 3 towns in the country on the east side of the Jordan, to which someone who had unintentionally killed a person could flee and find refuge. If the murder was unintentional and there was no history of bad blood, the murderer could flee to one of these cities and save his life. What this phrase means, no history of bad blood, to me is if someone had a grudge against someone and they were bitter towards them, unforgiving towards them, and they ended up, quote, unintentionally murdering the person, say maybe in self-defense, that it may not be considered self-defense if they had bad blood. In other words, if they had a grudge against this person. My opinion on why this is that if someone has a grudge or bad blood or bad intentions or bitterness towards someone and they kill them, it may be that they lured them into it. It may be that they somehow chased them down and harassed them and then ended up getting them into a fight and killing them. So this to me is a scriptural basis of how we might look at things.
Welcome everyone. I want to first come to you and say thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to the people. We as black people in this country from the beginning of time has never been given a fair chance. From the times that we stepped off the boats and onto this land, we've been beaten as slaves, we've been tortured, we've been mistreated, our women have been raped, our kids have been killed from the beginning of time. And I have a question, when does it stop? When is there a change? When is there a true change? Is there a true change for our people, or is this it? If laws like Stand Your Ground law are permitted to exist in this land, it shows that we have no new change. It's the same thing, it's the sole thing. Our people have been killed and tortured. We're wondering, when is the end? When will you people stop killing us? When? When will we have our nation? When? And now you make laws making it legal to kill our people. We've had enough. We want to get away from you people. You have tortured us. You have hurt us. You've meant nothing but bad from us from the beginning of time. Insomuch as our people have cried, we have prayed, we've used religion as an outlet. We've forgiven. How much should we forgive? Should there be a point when we stop forgiving and realize this doesn't work? Our people have cried and our cries have reached God. Look at what's going on in this world. Look at what's happening. God is returning. And he's returning and he's going to pay everybody for their deeds. He's going to repay every nation for their deeds. You say it's okay to kill black people, so it shall be rendered unto you. You say it's okay to enslave us, so it shall be rendered unto you. Christ is coming to set the captives free. He's coming to free us. So keep your stand your ground laws. Keep your do not tread on me flag. It's the same thing, it's the same spirit. Keep it. God is coming to deliver us from this nation, from this people, and from this land. That's all I have to say.
My name is Arthur C. Hayhoe. I'm the Executive Director of the Florida Coalition to Stop Gun Violence. I've run the state of Florida gun control organization for 30 years, so I like to say I know a little thing about it. Working with 16 other state groups, national groups like the Brady Campaign, Violence Policy Center, Coalition to Stop Gun Violence, and so on. I'm usually up at Tallahassee every year opposing the latest legislation proposed by the NRA. And in most cases, if we don't have backup by Brady, we will lose. In the last 30 years, the NRA has literally turned Florida into a shooting gallery. In the earlier years, it wasn't so bad, up to 85 to 2000, because we had enough Democrats to do something. But by the early 60s, the Republicans went from a majority to a supermajority, so they could not only pass any bill they wanted about guns, but they could oppose any bill trying to do something about guns. So it's been a difficult 30 years, but you know, we have accomplished some things. We got a background check at gun shows. We're the first state to pass a background check when you buy a gun at retail with a waiting period of 7 days. So we did get those two things done. We also spent, from 2005 we spent 7 years working on the Stand Your Ground law and opposing that, and also on the Trayvon Martin trial. So there's about 7 years we put on speaking about those issues. Because of my knowledge in this issue and all the files I've had, my second bedroom was full of files I've accumulated, I am a speaking, we do have people who will speak, and primarily myself, about gun control, about Stand Your Ground, about firearm preemption, about all these other issues. And I want to advise you that I am probably the most informed person in Florida on those issues. When Sandy Hook exploded in our face, I've got calls all over the world from outlets that wanted wanted replies from somebody who was well informed on it. So, as I say, I'm available anytime. 813-991-9584. Thank you very much, and vote Democratic.
Hello, how you doing today? My name is Derek Fleming, and I'm going to discuss Stand Your Ground law. Well, one thing, I don't know a whole lot about the law, but I do know in the state of Florida is where I'm most concerned at, because this is where I reside at. Stand Your Ground law, if you really was to take a real good look at the law, is giving people license to kill. And I don't think that anyone should have the opportunity to kill by choice. I think that it should be a law that should be reversed. It should be definitely looked at once again, and really take a depth look at it versus not wanting really to take time out to change this law, because it's not doing anybody any good. Me growing up in the inner cities, one thing that I never heard is that either two Afro-Americans, one killed one, and they went to court and the Stand Your Ground law got kicked into play. And on top of that, not even a Hispanic on Hispanic in the state of Florida. It shouldn't be an ongoing problem, but it's a problem that exists at this current time. And how could we come together as for the people that oppose this type of law? How could we come together to even try to make a change pertaining to basically in this law, once you really look at the depths of the law? We done seen people get killed. We done seen our communities almost go into a frenzy behind some saying that the person was wrong, some felt that the person was right. And I believe when our government put laws in play, that these laws should be concrete enough to have some type of stability in it versus for it to be unorganized. Because anytime you having people with two different sides and two different opinions in debate, in a constant debate about a law, you know, you really should go back to the drawing table and overlook it and see how could you fix the law and pay a little bit more close attention to details with it.